So it's been about 6 months since the collapse of everything, since the EMP. And again, I don't know who's going to watch this. I'm not even sure how many people are still alive out there. My guesstimation is that over 70% of the population in the United States of America has been lost to the initial, whatever that was, the initial wave, I guess we'll call it. I've seen a lot of things that are just, I mean, really atrocious. I don't even really want to talk about them, but I have to let you guys know in case you come along and see this video, maybe it'll help you out. For one thing, the insects are just out of control this year. It's very hot and humid. Every move that I make, I'm getting just torn up by mosquitoes and ticks and chiggers, and we've got some of the permethrin and we've got a little bit of DEET left, but they're just, I mean, they're just all over us. It's horrible. You have to keep moving and stay out of the lowlands. I'm in a ditch right now because I just got a call a while ago from my wife on the radio that she was seeing some activity over on the northwest side of the property. So I made my way over there and I just came back from that. The people, when I got there, apparently they were trying to trade with us or something like that. So it wasn't, we don't think it was a probe on our defenses, but we don't really know for sure. So I stayed in the bushes and I stayed hidden. My wife dealt with them, and you know, that way if something went awry, I'd have my AR there on my bipod and I'd be able to engage them. So anyways, it's been really tough, guys. One of the reasons we're so apprehensive to deal with any strangers that come around is we've been hearing lots of rumors and people have been coming up missing, and so it kind of gives credibility to the fact that there are cannibals out there. Some people, when the meat ran out, when the grains ran out, when the gasoline and the diesel ran out, they almost instantly went into cannibalism, like they were waiting for that to happen. So we've just heard tons of stories about people coming up missing, especially younger people and kids and stuff like that. Dogs are at high risk out here in this new world. But so far, at least this last little interaction we had, my wife with these people, these strangers, it appears that they have some resources. They're farmers and such, they claim, and they want to trade with us. They want to do some trading. So we're going to talk to them about that. And I didn't really like them coming onto my property like that, but we gave them a warning. We said, hey, this is our property over here. If you want to meet in the future, we can come over here and meet in a mutually beneficial location where it's not on our property and we don't feel like someone's encroaching on our private property, because that's a big deal. I've had to engage quite a few people. I don't want to say what I had to do, but let's just put it this way: they're no longer a threat. So this is just a totally different world than what we lived in before. There is no civility left. I mean, you just have to assume everyone is out to kill you or eat you, and that's pretty much the deal. I've heard a lot about rapes and stuff like that, and as I said, my wife is still alive and still with me, so I have to constantly watch out for that. You know, I mean, there aren't a lot of women left from what I'm hearing, so if, you know, a group of guys comes along and sees my wife, then obviously they're going to try to take her and make her into some sort of a slave, a sex slave. Let's just be honest about it. So, or, you know, cannibalize her. You know, maybe they'll eat her. I don't know. So this world we're living in is just hell on earth. It's the worst thing that I could have ever imagined. You know, in all of my prepping and all of my scenarios that I did before the collapse, I had no idea it was going to go to cannibalism this quickly. And for those of you that don't know, this is about 6 months after the collapse. So it's not all bad news, though. We did have a glimmer of hope the other day. As I told you previously, we've been getting some limited radio broadcasts from a station called Radio Free America. And on Radio Free America, about a week ago, we got an update and we got a cryptic message. And I don't remember exactly what the message was. It was like the eagle is landing or something like that, or the eagle's coming home to roost or something like that. And it turns out it was a message from Ron DeSantis. As I said in a previous video, he is basically taken control. He's the new president of the southeastern part of the United States. Everything was so chaotic and stuff, so new leadership, you know, was brought to position. Washington, D.C. does not exist anymore, so it's up to the states and the local regions to get together behind different people, and they chose DeSantis wisely. So we got a message that DeSantis and his crew, his people, were going to do an airdrop and bring in necessary supplies for people that were in our position, in our situation, people that were survivors that had still made it past all the bad stuff, but we're running out of everything. And so anyways, we got some MREs, we got some tools, some seeds. I couldn't believe they put seeds in there. I was so happy to see that. I wish they'd have put a little DEET in there though, because we're getting chewed alive by the mosquitoes and ticks and chiggers and stuff. There was some soap, toothpaste, hygiene products, feminine hygiene products and stuff like that for the ladies. Just lots of different things like that that we were so grateful to get. And I was really scared to go out and pick up the airdrop because we saw several drops coming down. They just basically did a blanket drop, and there were all these parachutes with like these big pallets on the bottom of them. So one landed about a mile away from my house here, and we were scared to death to go over towards it and approach it, but we proceeded with caution because we knew what it was. We assumed it was supplies from the remnant of the United States government. So we wanted to get over there and see what we could see and see if anybody else was around. And to our pleasant surprise, apparently no one else saw the drop that was in our area. So we walked right up to it. Well, first we staked it out and we looked around, made sure no one else was going to ambush us when we showed up, and we didn't see any activity. So right before dark, we ran over there and grabbed every single thing we could. I still had my black Chevy truck at the time. Ouch. And so I was able to pull over there and load up the entire pallet. I mean, it was like a kid at Christmas time. It was amazing. We've gotten a ton of MREs. I mean, one of the best ones is roast beef. I hadn't had roast beef in like, I don't know, over 8 months or something like that, since before everything went bad. And so to eat something like that, just some real food, yeah, it's an MRE and you had to add water to it and all that, and it wasn't as good as Mama's home cooking. But I tell you what, when you haven't had any real meat like that in a long time, we've been eating fish and things like that, but I want some red meat. I love red meat. So anyways, really grateful to have that, and it's going to help us get down the road a little farther. And we've already got our little small garden planted out of the seeds that we were able to salvage and bring over here to the property with us, but we didn't have enough. So getting all those seeds is a huge deal. It looked like to me there were 4 or 5 years worth of seeds in the seed box that came along with that delivery. So we are just so stoked to have that, and there was even some ammo in there, some 5.56, wouldn't you know, just what I needed. I mean, and some 22 and 9 mil and other stuff like that. So great job, President DeSantis. He's doing what he can to try to bring civility back into the country. Of course, we're still in a gray zone here where it's no man's land. So there's lots of constant attacks. Constantly people are trying to come in and, get power, gain power, and take away your supplies and things like that, and make you a serf or a slave to them. And we ain't having it. We're trying to stay out here on our own, away from people as much as possible. I'm lucky enough that I'm away from any major cities or suburbs or anything at this location. So we haven't been found yet. And the few people that have come and probed us, we've dealt with them accordingly. So I hope you guys are doing better than we are out there, and I hope you were able to find one of those airdrops that DeSantis sent in, because that was a huge game changer. It basically made it to where we're going to be able to get through the rest of the summer and probably part of the winter, and especially if we can get those seeds to take and get things going that way and start producing our own food. But anyways, I'm going to have to get out of this ditch because these mosquitoes are about to carry me away, and I just came down here to sneak over so that I could kind of scoot around my property here without anyone seeing me. The great thing about these ditches is that in most cases, like back here behind me, if I hear something up on the edge of the ditch over there or up on the flat ground out in the open where I can see really well, then I can go up there and put my bipod out, and I've got myself a ready-made foxhole here. So they can't see me, and even if they start shooting at me, I'm mostly protected. So you may have noticed I found some camo. A while back I didn't have any camo when I came over here, and that was a real problem because I was standing out like a sore thumb. But one of those people that tried to probe our defenses here actually was wearing some camo pants that just so happened to be my size. So I've now got some camo pants, and I had my camo headband here to keep the sweat out of my eyes. I broke my first pair, my better pair of glasses, but I had these as a backup pair. They're an older pair, but I broke those just running through the woods. I fell down, smashed them on some trees and stuff. It was they're FUBAR. There's no way to repair those. But anyways, I got to get back out here. I'm on a patrol right now, so I've got to go over and kind of circle back around and check our perimeters, and then I'm going to go back and meet up with my wife. We're going to have a little dinner tonight together, because we don't normally get to do that. Normally we're on opposite ends of the property, basically just doing a constant patrol. That's the only way we've been able to stay safe in this new situation that we find ourselves in here in America. And again, I hope you're doing a lot better than we are. I hope you were already prepared a lot better than we are. One of the things that I really regret is not having more mosquito spray, not having more DEET. Just terrible. I'm getting chewed up right now. So God bless you. God bless what's left of the United States of America. Long live the Republic. I stand for liberty. I hope you do too. We'll see you next time.